Shifting focus for now, a whole new nightmare unfolding over Ukraine skies. In a single week, Russian forces have unleashed over 1,200 drones and nearly 1,000 bombs, with the death toll climbing to at least 13 and 67 civilians injured, including children. And now, Ukrainian intelligence has pressed the alarm button, warning that Moscow is poised to unleash 1,000 aerial weapons every day. Take a look.
It's a battlefield. Russia is on the verge of hammering Ukraine with 1,000 missiles and drones a day, a level of bombardment unseen in modern warfare. Ukrainian cities are under relentless attacks. Entire neighborhoods in Kharkiv, Kyiv, Odessa are reduced to rubble, and Ukrainian air defenses stretch to the breaking point.
I took a small stall, started selling candy, but it was impossible. It was very scary, it was very loud, and it always started at 4 a.m. and it was psychologically exhausting. It was very, very difficult in this sense, and so I decided to leave again.
The sheer scale of this impending aerial assault is mind-numbing. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky reveals that over the past week alone, Russia used around 1,270 drones, 39 missiles and nearly 1,000 glide bombs against Ukraine, a terrifying prelude to the forecasted daily onslaught. President Donald Trump says the US will have to send more weapons to Ukraine, just days after ordering a pause in critical weapons deliveries to Kyiv.
Mr. President, are you planning to send more weapons to Ukraine?
We're going to send some more weapons. We have to. They have to be able to defend themselves. They're getting hit very hard now. They're getting hit very hard. We're going to have to send more weapons. Yeah, defensive weapons primarily, but they're getting hit very, very hard.
On the ground, Russia's strategic advances are accelerating, adding another layer of grim pressure. Kremlin forces are pushing relentlessly, particularly in eastern Ukraine, aiming for maximum territorial gains. Moscow claims it captured their first village in the Dnipropetrovsk region, signaling a dangerous expansion of their offensive. The battle for key logistical hubs like Pokrovsk in Donetsk continues fiercely as Russia seeks to encircle cities and secure vital ground before any potential negotiation. Simultaneously, Russian long-range drone strikes have repeatedly targeted military mobilization centers, attempting to cripple Ukraine's ability to reinforce its exhausted troops. Outnumbered and outgunned on the battlefield, the Ukrainian armed forces are increasingly relying upon drone strikes to cripple strategic targets deep within Russia. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
And in a significant push for indigenous firepower, the Indian Army is gearing up to test a newly developed mounted gun system that can fire and relocate in just 85 seconds, designed to avoid enemy counterattacks. This 30-ton artillery system reportedly combines speed with precision. And according to reports, the Indian Army has officially requested the DRDO to provide the Mounted Gun System, or MGS, for trials across multiple terrains and weather conditions. The vehicle's research and development establishment in Maharashtra's Ahmednagar, under DRDO, will carry out these tests. MGS is a 1 55 mm, 52 caliber howitzer fitted onto an 8x8 high mobility vehicle. Capable of firing 6 rounds per minute, it can reportedly strike targets as far as 45 kilometers away and can operate both in desert and high altitude areas with shoot and scoot capability. Just to put this simply, shoot and scoot refers to a tactical military maneuver where artillery or missile units quickly fire at a target and then rapidly relocate to avoid enemy counterfire. The main purpose is to minimize exposure to enemy radar and surveillance systems, which can quickly pinpoint the origin of a launch. Modern weapon systems such as India's Pinaka multi-barrel rocket launcher and the US HIMARS are reportedly specifically designed for this tactic. And the MGS is reportedly based on the indigenous advanced towed artillery gun system, with this mobile variant allowing artillery units to shoot and move before the enemy's retaliatory fire. According to reports, internal trials of MGS in Balasore and Pokhran have showed positive and promising results. Over the past decade itself, India is reportedly aiming to replace older guns with modern artillery systems. And the addition of mobility to these heavy weapons reportedly significantly boosts their combat effectiveness and survivability on the battlefield. And as India moves towards a more agile and equally lethal weapon system, arms like the MGS could play a crucial role in future combat scenarios and wars. Shifting focus for now, India is building undersea drone swarms to counter China's maritime threat in the Indo-Pacific. A silent battle is taking shape, one that could decide the future balance of power in Asia. India is taking warfare beneath the seas into the drone age. And according to reports, India's DRDO, or Defense Research and Development Organization, is developing submarine-launched drones, unmanned, launchable underwater aerial vehicles. And these drones will be fired from a submarine's torpedo tube, exit underwater, surface stealthily, and convert into aerial drones. Just think about what that actually means. A submarine can remain hidden beneath the sea while its drone soars above the waters, gathering intelligence, jamming radars, or even launching strikes without ever revealing the submarine's position. It is a pioneering initiative, and it is aimed at enhancing the lethality, the intelligence gathering, as well as mission flexibility of the Indian Navy's fleet of submarines. What they essentially represent is a hybrid capability, part underwater, part aerial. These drone systems can be equipped for a variety of missions, including intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, electronic warfare, decoy roles, potentially even kinetic strikes. It could help extend India's submarine power far beyond the horizon. And that's not even all. DRDO is also reportedly working on underwater drone swarms, multiple unmanned underwater vehicles launched from a submarine acting as a mothership. These drone swarms can hunt enemy submarines, detect mines, map the ocean floor, guard harbors, or even launch coordinated attacks underwater, a force multiplier in every sense. The development of submarine-launched systems and drone swarms is part of a broader push by the Indian Navy and the DRDO to integrate next-generation autonomous systems across maritime domains. Why is India investing in such futuristic systems? Because the threat is real. China now has the world's largest navy. It has over 60 submarines and big ambitions to control sea lanes from the Indian Ocean to the Pacific. And not only has China developed underwater drones, it is also on track to develop drone mothership that can release small AI drones collectively. China wants to become a true blue water navy capable of projecting power far from its shores. And for India, countering this means innovating under the sea, where stealth decides who wins and who doesn't. Today, India has around 17 operational submarines, but with these new systems and underwater drone swarms, each submarine effectively transforming into a stealth command center, deploying multiple unmanned assets. It's not just about matching China's numbers. It is about ensuring that India's submarines can remain hidden while dominating the Indian Ocean region. And globally as well, the US Navy is reportedly developing Orca extra-large undersea drones, and China is also building its own underwater swarms. Russia investing in nuclear-powered undersea drones, and they're all investing heavily in autonomous and semi-autonomous underwater platforms to gain a strategic edge in the high seas. India is now part of this race, and as it continues to expand its submarine fleet and maintain deterrence in the Indo-Pacific region. Switching gears for now, Europe's largest port is preparing for a potential all-out war with Russia. The port of Rotterdam, a key logistics hub in the Netherlands, is reportedly actively designating zones for military shipments and outlining emergency rerouting plans in case war breaks out. And the port officials are reportedly working in close coordination with neighboring Antwerp in Belgium to streamline the movement of the military vehicles and supplies from allies like the United States, Canada, the UK. The goal is simple: keep cargo flowing while ensuring military readiness. If tensions with Russia escalate into war, and in an interview with the Financial Times, the CEO of the Port of Rotterdam Authority has said that both ports, the Rotterdam and Antwerp ports, are no longer operating solely as competitors. Instead, they are strategizing and planning on the best ways to handle potential surges in military freight. The CEO also said that since not all terminals are equipped to handle such cargo, any massive influx would be split between Rotterdam, Antwerp, and other strategic locations. And this move comes amid a broader European push to prepare for possible Russian aggression. The European Commission is drafting a plan to mobilize around $840 billion to beef up Europe's defense and also lessen its dependence on American protection and build up its own military capabilities. And in response to demands from US President Donald Trump in last month's NATO summit, all allies, remember, agreed to more than double their defense spending target from 2% of the GDP to 5% by 2035. In line with the NATO directives, the Dutch Defense Ministry in May announced that Rotterdam would have to provide space for handling multiple ships carrying military cargo. The Rotterdam port will also reportedly hold amphibious drills multiple times each year, possibly to maintain war readiness. And while Rotterdam has seen military cargo during past conflicts, including during the Iraq War in the early 2000s, this is the first time it is reportedly integrating defense logistics into its long-term infrastructure. Even during the Cold War, by the way, the port reportedly did not have a dedicated military quay. Antwerp reportedly continues to serve as a key port for receiving supplies for US forces stationed across Europe, and this growing emphasis on military readiness is not just limited to the Netherlands or Belgium. NATO's Secretary General has warned NATO members last month that Russia could attack a NATO country by as early as 2030, while the German Chief of Defense has warned that Russia might attack NATO members within the next 4 years, potentially targeting the Baltic states as early as 2029. And the warning was based on Russia's increased military production, including hundreds of tanks annually. Latvia's intelligence service, for that matter, has also flagged signs of escalating tensions, tracking significant Russian troop buildup in the Baltic Sea and growing surveillance activity near the NATO exercises. While further north, Norway released its first national security strategy in May, calling the current threat level the most serious since World War II. The country has even resumed the Cold War era practice of building bomb shelters, the first time the country has done so since 1998. And as tensions in Europe continue to mount, Europe's major ports are appearing to gear up to pivot from commerce to conflict if a war erupts.